Funny Over 50 contest to kick off on February 9th. Hundreds of hilarious women submitted from all over the country. Now, Vicky Babb is 50 years old, and she's worked a day job for 21 years to support her kids while doing stand-up comedy at night. Take a look.
I remember when my daughter was getting married, she came to me and she said, "Mom, I want to get married in a castle." Okay, I was like, "A castle? Ma'am, that sounds very expensive. Do you have a job?" She was like, "No, but between you and Daddy, it's about $400 a person." I was like, "Ma'am, I drive a bus, okay? I drive a bus. If I didn't get married in a castle, ain't nobody getting married in a castle, all right?"
And that's right, Vicky.
Phenomenous. Colding.
Hello, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Life's Deceit with me, your girl, Jen Simpson. How are you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for leaving your amazing comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'm so honored and delighted that you guys tune in and you guys are loving the videos. I'm humbled. I'm blessed. I feel good. You know, starting this whole podcasting, like I said before, guys, I had no idea. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I trusted God. And I just, I let God flow within me, whatever I felt like talking about. That's what I wanted to talk about. Those are the topics that I wanted to talk about. Sometimes, when you're starting things and you're going to people and asking for, what do you think? What's your advice? What's your opinion? You get confused. And in the beginning, I got confused. Everybody's like, find your niche, find this. You got to do this. You got to do it. And I just wanted to be me. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, be my natural self, allowed God to guide me in the right direction, flow through me, wake up and pick a topic. That's what I wanted to do because I like to move in the spirit. And if I wake up today and I feel like this is a topic that needs to be spoken about, that's what I'm going to do. So with all that being said, I want to thank you guys for continuing to, support, continuing to watch me, little old big me. Thank you guys for all the love that you show, all the support. I really, 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 really appreciate it. But guys, today we have part 2 of our interview that we had last week with Vicky Babb, better known as Diamond Natural on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. She is viral, TikTok viral. Last episode, we had a great conversation about, handling and how you dissect being on social media, being in the spotlight, how do you handle negative comments? And that was great. It felt good because that was one of the things I was afraid of when I first came on camera. I'm like, am I cute enough? Am I going to have the right hairstyle for them? Are they going to pick at me? Makeup wise, I'm not a makeup artist. Sorry. I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm not a makeup artist, guys, but I think your girl's been doing her thing. I got a little dabble here and there, but don't worry. I'm going to dive into some full face beat. But this is natural. I just like it natural. When I'm able to do the full beat and learn how to do all of that, you guys will see the switch up. Maybe I might even do a video showing you guys how I learned how to do makeup. Who knows? But guys, we have Diamond Natural again. Guys, please go and follow her Instagram. Go and check out her TikTok videos. You guys will be on the floor laughing. You will love her spirit, her energy. Support, support, support. It's all about supporting. It's all about, coming together as a unit and doing things together. We can't do this alone. We can't create change alone. We can't break generational cycles alone. Everything requires a team. It requires a foundation. And go support her. She's breaking generational cycles, but she's doing it with a twist, a funny way, making us laugh. Guys, please go follow. So guys, we have part 2 of our interview with Miss Diamond Natural. And let's kick into this video. However, before you kick into the video, please subscribe, like, comment. I've been reading your comments and I'm loving them. I'm really loving your comments so far, because I know people can be a little bit, but I'm loving it. Please, guys, continue to share the video. Comment, leave me a comment. I did something different with my hair. I've been trying to do different things. I might even grow it back. I left the braids out. I usually put it in a ponytail, but I left them out this week and I'm just loving me. But guys, let's get into the video with my girl, Diamond Natural. Hey, Diamond. Hey, Diamond. Hey, Diamond. Hey, Miss Natural. Let's go.
Honestly say that is the same thing for me too. Especially there were so many things that were just put into perspective after my mother died.
Yeah.
And so I became very aware of my mortality. And, even just like how I was just talking to you about my grandson, I always have in the forefront of my mind that tomorrow is promised to no one, right? And what have you done with your life?
Exactly.
To make a
this is what I'm
difference
saying.
in this world when you go.
Yep.
What will your legacy be?
Yep.
And you have to and I just think that's just so important as far as knowing. That's why it's so important to know who you are, because I'm not sure if I put it in the stories, but in the questionnaire that you sent me when I chose the time for the podcast tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long you've been following me either, but I was a bus driver for New York City Transit for 21 years, right?
Yes, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tell me I was not gonna retire from transit, collect my little pension, live comfortably, I don't know if I hadn't decided if I was gonna stay in New York, but for the most part, I had no plans after retirement, right?
Right.
Due to a disciplinary charge, I was up for demotion. And they wanted to demote me to a cleaner for, when I left transit, I was making $37 an hour. $37.42 to be exact. The cleaner position, I would have been making $29 and some change. The way these people tried to convince me to take that demotion, and I said, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My spirit would not allow me to take that demotion because I knew in my mind, I had already given them 21 years of my life and I had 6 years left for retirement. I said, but knowing what I know of New York City Transit and many transit companies, the drivers, because it's it's an occupation that really compromises your health, a lot of the drivers actually, our mortality rate is very high. So a lot of the drivers actually pass away before they even retire.
Wow.
Right? And it's usually within, when they have less than 5 years to go to retirement, they die from diabetes, stroke, heart attack, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad. And because our health becomes so compromised from sitting down all day, we actually have lifetime medical. From when we leave, retirement age is 55. If you live to be 100, you have 45 years of free medical from New York City Transit. That's how much your health is compromised on the job, because so they know. So as a way of trying to entice people to stay, they promise this lifetime medical.
Yeah.
Or you get medical coverage until you die, right? So I was looking at it as, I've already given these people 21 years. I'm now supposed to give them another 6 years of inhaling fumes and cleaning asbestos.
Yeah.
Like, I really had to think about myself. I said that would break my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And so people were saying, oh, but I know cleaners who, because when I left, I was making 6 figures a year. I think when I left, I was making somewhere in the neighborhood of $130,000 a year, right? Cleaners were making $100,000 a year. And no one could understand why I did not want the job. And I had to say, like, my friends who were closest to me, I said, because my purpose in this world has not been fulfilled. And there's no way it's going to be fulfilled being a cleaner. Now, this is not to knock anyone, because, I already know to myself, if my children were little, and I had to provide for them because they weren't guaranteed lifetime medical, right? I would
Yeah.
have had to take that demotion. Um, but I had already started gaining notoriety and coming to prominence. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pursue this full time. And I already know how they talked about me. The rumor mill was crazy. I can't even begin to tell you the way the phone calls I would get. I heard what happened. Did you hear what happened? I mean, you would think I was in some sort of sex scandal the way they were talking about me. But what it was, I had already started doing comedy shows. I had already started going viral. So it was more people mocking me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, she thought she was going to be some big time celebrity. And now look, you know, they're going to demote her, because from what I heard, they were going around saying, oh, you hear who's about to be a cleaner? Like,
Yeah.
oh, she thought she was some celebrity, but she's still getting demoted. And I'll never forget, one of my friends, he said he overheard one of the conversations. And this was before I even talked to him, because, honey, that transit rumor mill is crazy in those depots, okay?
Yeah.
And he said he turned to them and he said, I haven't even talked to her, but knowing what I know of Vicky, she is not taking that demotion. She will resign before she takes that demotion. I don't know if they had an actual bet, but some people were so convinced that I was
You're
going to
gonna
be
demote.
demoted. And I resigned without a plan. My only plan was to take this seriously, to pursue it full time. Um, and then one of my followers reached out to me last year, September, to tell me about Sherry Shepherd's show and how she was searching for women over 50 to be comedians. And they had her name is Minette. I remember that because
Oh,
I reached,
Manette.
yeah, and I don't remember her last name, but I looked it up. I did the audition tape. I submitted it and everything. And honey, you see, when that thing aired back in January, excuse me, those same transit people who were talking about me crazy
Mm,
were calling me, telling me, "Oh, I didn't know you were that funny.
mm-hmm.
Oh, look how you on Sherry Shepherd, you went national."
Mm-hmm.
Now they believed in me because they couldn't see what I could see.
Yeah, now
And
you tried to rub your mouth on me.
yeah, you tried to talk, but my thing with that was, luckily, and I thank God that I knew who I was, right? Because if you don't know who you are, and you aren't able to assert yourself, and you're not confident when you remind people who you are and show them who you are, they will tell you who you aren't in an attempt to bring you back down where they think you should be and where they want you to be, right? And that was, although I didn't make it as a semifinalist or even a finalist, that was all the justice I needed.
You
It's
made it
like,
there. Yeah, that was it. You made it
I
there.
I believed in myself enough that I ended up on the Sherry Shepherd show. And I
Exactly.
knew that I wasn't exactly what you said. I make people laugh, which is an energy exchange, and I lift people's spirits. I knew that I was called for something greater than to sit up there cleaning anybody's toilet.
Right? Right?
Count
Clean
on
toilet.
that.
It's
Like
so,
that. Yeah, that was
listen,
that was just something I knew in my spirit. It was
it's
like,
so,
I don't care what y'all have to say about it. And I heard there was, oh, she thinks she's too good. No, that's not it.
yeah.
My calling is greater. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
listen,
sorry if you don't know what your
Vicky,
calling is. I know what my calling is.
Vicky, you spoke to Jen, because
Yeah.
everything you just said,
Hmm.
you said everything that I went through. and everything that
Mm.
I am going through. And I
Oh
have to
wow.
remind myself about who I am, who God
Yeah.
called me to be, and to know that I am born for a greater purpose.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I'll say something quick. The other day, I wanted to move to the States. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you've been telling me to go to the States. I don't know. I'm still kind of hot and cold with the States, but I know that I'm not staying in Canada, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a lawyer, but I knew I didn't want to be a lawyer. I knew that I had a higher calling on my life than being a lawyer.
Mm.
But
That's big.
I started working for lawyers. And
Mm.
that's when I really knew, that's not for
It
you.
wasn't for you.
It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
for me. And I was inside convenience store when I got off the train to go to work. And this black man was standing behind me and he just started asking me, what's my background? He started bashing Jamaica. And I'm like, you're
Eh, eh.
bashing my country? But I'm like, you know what? Don't even pay him no mind because he doesn't know who he is. He won't even tell me
Mm.
where he's from. He's just saying, I'm
Yeah.
Canadian. I've been here for too long. So I'm Canadian. I'm nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he asked me what I did, and I told him what I did. And he's like, oh, you should go to law school. And he's like, lawyers run the world. And I said, no, I have a higher calling than that. And he's like, what's
Uh-huh.
that? And I gave him one word: to serve my people. And that's it. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is. I don't know what that is. And let me tell you, the devil will send people to try to throw you off your track.
Of course.
The devil will
Absolutely.
send people to you that will try to stray you off the path that God already told you. You are planted exactly where I want you to plant. I want you to
Yeah.
grow there. Keep growing
Yeah.
there. Because you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see why I needed you to be right here. Because you see, in a
Yeah.
couple of years when you're here, you're gonna be like, okay, God, I understood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I called my fiance. I'm like, babe, may I go to law school? And he's like, Jen, stop your nonsense. I said, may I go to law school, man? And he's like, that's not what you want. So why you call me in about a mifa? I'm like, I saw this man and he said that I should go to law school. And he's like, your love make people come in your spirit, come tell you friggery. And I'm
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're right. Because the devil sent him
Mm-hmm.
to try to devalue me and make me
Yeah.
believe that what I'm doing right now
Mm-hmm.
is not God's work and what God assigned me to do.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful. So I'm listening to you talk about this. I remember people that overlooked me. I didn't want nothing to do with me because my numbers weren't big on social media. Now all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
all of you guys were in my DM messaging me, oh, I'm so proud of you, Jen. I'm this, that. And I'm like, wow. You never believed in me before, but now you wanna.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I believe in myself, and that's all I
Yeah.
need. And God called me to do it. That's all
Yeah.
I need. It's about me and God. We're focused on each
Yeah.
other, and that's
That's
when I
it.
listen to you
And
say that.
mm,
People will look you and dismiss you until they see that
yeah.
seed that God's been planting in you for years.
Mm-hmm. And it's not, everyone hears the entertainment industry is a difficult industry as is or always
Yeah,
was, right? And
yeah,
now with social media, it has become like saturated. It's so difficult to ascertain who's really talented from who isn't. It seems like we're all doing the same thing. How many podcasts are there? How many content creators are there, right?
exactly.
Everyone has everyone has their own unique energetic signature, right?
Hmm.
And so everyone, we all put our own stamp on it, but that's the reason why it is so important. And like, I can't even begin to stress how critical it is that you know who you are, right? Because the industry is so saturated, right? I can honestly say, as because I'm doing this full time, I'm not I'm not being compensated the way I was when I had a steady job at transit, right? I'm
Right.
not making $160,000 a year. But I mean $130,000 a year. But because I know who I am and because I know I'm doing and I'm confident that I know that I'm doing what I was called to do, God always makes sure that I'm provided for in one way or another, right? And something that came to me, I'm not sure if it came to me or if I saw it somewhere, but it's been like a recurring theme in my mind for the past few weeks, especially with the way things are coming to me. And that is back to what I said about spiritual abundance. energy is currency.
Mhm.
So even if I don't have, or I'm not getting the money coming in the way it was when I had a check, my energy is providing for me. So my energy is quite literally just for me being me, me standing in my truth, me being my authentic self. It is allowing these things literally to come and be placed at my feet. It's like, we want your energy, we want you. I have people who want to book me for events. We don't care how much it costs, whatever you need. I just signed a, not signed a deal, but agreed to collaborate with someone. All he wants me to do is promote his rental properties. Free flight, free for myself and a guest, free hotel accommodations. And that's
It's
not,
who you are.
it's who I am.
Yes,
It's
who you
my
are.
energy,
Yep.
right? So whereas before, working at transit, I had to save up the money to go on these trips. But
Now
now
you're
people want me to come and just show up as me.
right.
They're paying for it and paying me on top of it. So you have to be willing to trust yourself and believe in yourself and know to yourself, spiritual abundance is more, it carries more weight than
Wait. Mhm.
financial abundance.
That
And I
is
think
true.
that's so big. I think it's so, 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 so big. So many people overlook that. And just, we can even look at what's going on right now with Puffy. He's one of the richest men in the world, and his financial abundance cannot save him,
No.
right? Because
You
he was operating from a place of spiritual bankruptcy.
yes. A lot of people are operating from that place.
Yeah,
And that's why a lot of things are and you know what's funny?
yeah,
A lot of times you hear people be like, why God won't make me rich? Why would I get this? Why would I get that? And
yeah,
what we want all these things, but we forget that, listen,
yeah,
spirituality has to be built up first. God has
yeah,
to make sure we know how to handle these things, because
yep,
we mishandle them and end up like
yeah,
these celebrities.
yep. That's so important. That is so, it's so, so important. And because I
Yeah.
remember the day when my friend called to tell me, actually, she texted me. She was the first one to text me to tell me my audition tape had just aired on the Sherry Shepherd show. And I called her screaming. I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Hmm.
And she said, "Yes." And I broke down crying. That was my first reaction.
Yep.
I broke down crying because of the week I had just had.
Yeah.
It was because it almost, the week I just had leading up to that, it almost destroyed me. Quite literally. I almost lost everything. My mental health, my freedom, everything was almost taken from me in that week. And
Yep.
I was able to keep myself grounded.
And
And
there was
just
a there
in
was
the
a reason
middle
for
of
it.
going through with that, that's when that audition tape aired. In the
Yeah,
middle
because
of it.
sometimes God has to show us some things to, show
Yeah.
us why we deserve it. We appreciate it more because, like, I went through all of this, and then you did this.
Yeah.
Nothing beats
She
that.
she that was that, to know that my first reaction was me crying,
Yeah.
because it was like, thank you, God. I really needed that, because I was almost broken
Yeah.
at that point. So
Do you do you have any upcoming shows?
so my next show, I have a lot of people have reached out to me to do events. So in this past, because with the wintertime things kind of slow down.
Yeah.
So I've sent out booking information. So I'm waiting for, those to come back. So right now I just have the collaboration trip that I told you about.
Okay.
And so but that's not gonna be that's just gonna be something I'm gonna document for social media. Um and then I am hosting Family Fun Day. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm hosting Family Fun Day in Lithonia, Georgia, for Caribbean Carnival weekend. So
Nice.
but that's not until May.
May.
So
Okay.
that's another thing that people have to have patience with, especially in the entertainment industry. At first, everything is so far apart. it's so
Yeah.
spread out, you know? So you gotta kind of wait
And
on God's timing with that. And it's kind of like, God, I need was
yeah, come speed up the time, God.
you have a
The
calendar
time
or
is moving
something to
slow.
show me?
So for
But you know,
anyone who doesn't,
but when he comes through.
yeah,
Nobody does it better than him when he comes through.
nobody. When
Yeah.
he comes through, you come through like, boy, God,
Yeah.
you take long to look at the time. At 2027, no, 2020, from 2023, me I wait. But when
God,
he
he
comes
shows up
through.
fashionably late, honey. He shuts
Yeah,
it
fashionably
down.
late, but on time. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Fashionably late, but on time.
Yeah. On
So for
time.
anybody who's listening, who they may not know you, they're not following on TikTok or Instagram, can you leave them your social media contacts so they can follow and stay tuned to all your events that are coming up
All
and
my
future?
foolishness.
Yes,
Tune into
all
my
your
foolery.
foolishness.
So my social media handles on Instagram and TikTok are diamond_natural. And on Facebook and YouTube, it's just Diamond Natural without the underscore.
Okay,
So
guys,
I'm on a total of 4 platforms. And if y'all could help me out a little bit on YouTube and Facebook, I would greatly appreciate it.
come,
Ting,
guys.
ting
We need
bad
to
on them 2
follow,
platforms.
follow, and support, guys. And before you go, can you leave some inspirational message for anybody who wants to, step into the TikTok world, be a comedian, be a host? What would you tell them to help them to get started and stay grounded and don't waver for anything or anybody?
Authenticity is key. It is very important to be your natural, authentic self. Do what you do. Don't try to be like anyone else. Because having your own energetic signature shine through is so important. And if you want to take it a step further, I encourage all social media content creators, if they want to really take their content over up a notch, to take acting classes, some form of acting classes, to really help them to what's the word, level up their skill set pretty
Yeah,
much, right? And that would really help them to stand out, because I notice a huge change in my content and the way I present from when I first started to now, that I have taken acting classes, and I've been trained to some extent.
I agree.
And I've been in 2 movies also, but they haven't been released yet, and they were really small. I shouldn't even say they were really small roles. They were roles, but they weren't. I loved being on set and just being given the opportunity, right? But they were just in one scene of both movies, so they weren't
I,
like
I
throughout the movie. But trust and believe, when I see myself up on that big screen, I'm gonna be the one in the movie theater screaming. So it's a big deal for me. I don't care what nobody wants.
yeah, especially when you know where you're coming from and where you are now, it's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Authenticity, don't change for anybody. Be
Don't change
yourself
for
all day,
anyone.
every day.
All
People are
day,
gonna
every day.
have
Yeah,
people,
authenticity is key. And this was a big one. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. That will derail you faster than I can't even begin to tell you. If you looking at, oh, how much followers they got, and they did this and they did that, you will be so busy focused on someone else that you can't focus on your own journey and your growth and what you're supposed to be doing.
yep, and you miss out on your own blessings because you're
Yeah,
trying to match up to somebody else.
yeah,
Focus on
yeah.
yourself, where you're going. You
Focus
know,
on yourself.
you and somebody could be doing the same thing, but your
Mm-hmm.
impact is different, and the people who you touch are
Yeah,
different because everybody doesn't receive the message the same.
right,
So always
right.
focus on yourself, like Vicky said. Vicky, I had such an amazing time with you.
Oh, same
Um,
here. We could talk out. All of my podcast interviews go like this.
yeah,
It's always supposed to be 30 to 45 minutes, and then they just go like
yeah, because
way.
When the conversation is sweet, it's sweet, and it just
Yeah.
when you connect with somebody, you don't want to leave because I'm here like 2 hours. Can I
Yeah.
do another one?
It doesn't even feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it. Just like I've been on the phone with a natural friend just talking, but it
Yeah.
felt good. And
Yeah.
listen, thank you so much for
Oh,
opening
you're
my
welcome.
DM.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you for your support. Because, a lot of times people will say, oh, no, or whatever. But thank you for your support. A lot of people don't. They don't support. They don't want to do it. And I thank you for agreeing to be on my Look a Small podcast.
It's not a small podcast. I don't even remember what your numbers were, but I don't I tell people all the time too, follower count doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It does
You're
not
right.
at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I know certified, bona fide millionaires with less than 1,000 followers, and they are heavy hitters in the industry.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I look at quality over quantity.
That's true.
Yeah.
So thank you for being on my big up podcast.
Big up podcast. Big up.
Thank you. I had such an amazing time with you. I hope to have you back again so we could do another part because there's so many topics I wanted to touch on. And, when you get to talking, you don't always get to hit them all.
Yeah.
This was fruitful. You're definitely sending me to my bed smiling like I feel good. I was in good presence.
Oh, that's
good
good.
energy, So I can't wait to talk to you again. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night, your week. And we'll see each other again soon.
Yes,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Please subscribe, like, comment. I've been reading your comments and I'm loving them. I'm really loving your comments so far.
Phenomenous. Cold ink.